Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, and today we are going to finally go over something that I have been asked multiple times, and I know you guys have been waiting on.
Real bad boy. I've got a ton of gravel in my shoes, world on my shoulder, heart full of blues. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt.
Today I'm going to show you how to hook up and connect the factory turn signal blinkers in the front for less than like 50 bucks. It's not very expensive at all. I do want to point out that I do only have the front turn signals done. The rear lights are not wired for turn signals. So when I attempted to connect them to the flasher, they either didn't work, it flashed the brake lights, and then the only other wire choice is ground, which will short out the whole thing. The great thing about the front turn signals is that the headlights are already pre-wired for those flashers. If you really get into looking at the back of this and the wiring harness, you'll see that out of the headlight there are 6 wires, but from the connection on, there are only 5 wires. That single wire that is missing is your turn signal wire. On this, the driver's side turn signal wire is orange. The passenger turn signal wire is baby blue. I'm going to show you how to find those right now, tell you how I connected them, and then what I did with the wires once they were connected. Things that you will need for this install. You will need a flathead screwdriver and a microfiber towel in order to get the dash out without scratching it. A 3-prong LED flasher from AutoZone or Walmart or Advanced Auto Parts, somewhere like that. You'll want it to have just a power, a ground, and then a load prong. You're gonna actually run a wire from that load prong to the switch, and that's what's gonna give these fronts the ability to not only flash, but to change to amber, which is really, really cool. Let's get this bottom part of the windshield off, get the hood off, and then I'll show you what to do. So this little piece right here by the roll bar will just pop right out. If you look back down in there, you can see the wiring harness that comes off the headlight. And you see that orange wire right there, that is our turn signal wire. Now, you will have people tell you that you need to remove the front, you'll have to remove this, you have to remove that. You don't have to do any of that. The way I got to mine, an easier way is you could remove this whole wheel weld too on both sides and get right in behind that headlight. But if you just look back up in there, it's right there. And so what I did was I just used a splice connector, connected onto that orange wire, and then ran a wire from the back of that up to the back of the switch panel in the dash. It's that easy. Obviously, don't forget to put this back. This thing does kind of go in a certain way. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Okay, so make sure you get that back on. Like I said, orange wire on the driver's side, baby blue wire on the passenger side. I did the same exact thing over there. Spliced in, ran both wires up, back through here to get to the back of the dash switches. We're gonna go inside. I'm gonna show you how to remove the panel and how I arranged my switches, because I did move some around a little bit, and just kind of tell you how I did that and why I did that. All right, so in here, I ended up sticking my turn signal switch right here in the middle, right next to the headlights. The switch that was here was the horn. So what I did is when I pulled this out, I disconnected the wiring harness from the back of the horn switch. The horn switch comes out the front of the panel. Then I scored right down here next to this override button. I scored this cutout, busted it out, fed the wiring harness that goes to the back of this switch down. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of length to it. I fed it down and out the hole, connected it, shoved it back in so I could put my turn signal switch up here because this is much more practical than having to reach down here to attempt to signal. A microfiber towel and a small flathead screwdriver. There are 2 notches that you'll see at the bottom underneath this panel. You just stick your screwdriver in there, pop her forward, and then this pretty much pulls straight out. All right, so when you have that out, you're going to want to feed your switch in through the front. Now the back part of this switch will actually come wrapped like the rest of these with a plug on the end of it. I cut the wrap off, cut the plug off. The wire that I fed from the front driver's side, I connected to the orange wire on the back of the switch. The one from the front passenger side, I fed to the baby blue wire on the back of the switch, connected those. Now your middle wire on the switch is the wire you are going to run to the load pin on the actual flasher unit. So once you connect those and you have your switch in, this literally just pops right back into place. Make sure you get these top ones up here pushed down and in where they're supposed to go before you pop it all the way in. Those like to try to fit a little wonky sometimes if you don't get them in there just right. So once that's done, it's all back together. It's clean. It looks factory. That's my favorite part of it. And then I'll show you the flasher, how to hook it up, and then we're done. Okay, so the flasher that I have, it's obviously not in the best position, but it stays and it works, so whatever. Novita EP28. It's a 3-prong LED flasher that I got from, I believe it was AutoZone. As long as it's 3-prong and it's LED, you are fine. Obviously there's 3 prongs on it, which is why it's a 3-prong, duh. So the way you're gonna set this up is you're gonna have power that runs to power, then you're gonna have a ground that runs to ground, and then you'll have a load prong, which will come from the middle wire off the back of the switch. That's what will give the switch the ability to flash and change to amber, which is a really, really cool look. And legit, that is it, guys. That is it. For the rears, let me just show you real quick. I'm pretty sure there's some kind of converter box that you can buy. I haven't researched it a whole lot, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there's some sort of converter box that you can buy to make the rears work. There's only 3 wires on the rear tail lights. It's obviously the tail light, brake light, and a ground. I tried connecting it to the tail light. The flasher clicks, but it does not actually flash. If you connect to the brake lights, they're both just going to flash. If you connect it to the ground, you're going to get this thing acting all kinds of weird. So what I'm doing in the meantime is I bought some cheap sequential LED flashers off of Amazon, and I'm just going to install those. I will run them to the corresponding wires that are on the back of the switch once I do have these installed, and then I will have rear turn signals as well. They won't be the LED factory ones quite yet, but that is something that I'm going to research more and try to figure out, because I would much rather them be factory. So that's it, man. That's it. Let me show you what they look like. So as you can see, the front driving lights here all lit up, white LED, just like normal in factory. This is with the headlights on, bright lights on, just the running lights on, and then what is completely off. You can see that even with the lights on, they will change from white to amber, no problem, and off they work as well. So it's a really easy mod to do. It's a really cool mod to do. It brings really a different element to this than I've seen in any other side-by-side so far. And it's that factory look, man, you just cannot beat it. Or that's, at least I don't think you can beat it. That's my personal opinion, obviously. But yeah, so that's it, man. Thank you guys for being patient and waiting on this video. I know I've been trying to get this one out for a minute. I've actually recorded this a couple times, didn't record the audio one time, another time was pretty messed up. So thought I would go ahead and redo that today. I'm getting ready to also replace my drive belt and do the clutch kit install. So that video should be coming out a couple days after this one. I also want to talk about some big things that I have in the works in the off-road realm of things. Working on some off-road products, UTV, ATV, you know, just off-road buggies and vehicles, dirt bikes, the whole thing. We'll be coming out with the whole product line, you know, to clean, protect, and make your ride and keep your ride looking brand new. And also, I'm working on taking two of my favorite things, which is mud and music, and combining those into a big fun time. So please stay tuned for that. Come along the journey with me. I'm going to document the whole thing from, you know, finding the venues to finding performers to the stressful parts of it, to the great parts of it, to the downfalls of it, the whole thing. I'll be covering it all. I'll be documenting it all. So you might not always see CFMoto stuff, but it will be something in the UTV kind of realm of things. And yeah, man, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. If there is anything that you want to know or want to see me do with this machine, please don't hesitate to put that down in the comments. Just let me know and I will try to get to it as soon as possible. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and the love that I've been shown lately. It's greatly appreciated, and I really, really love doing these videos, and I love this machine, and I love everything about just off-roading and side-by-side and getting muddy. So thank you all so much again. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell notifications, and we'll have another video coming at you real soon. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.